We're standing at a really critical moment. For generations, we've trusted what we see, photographs, videos. That was our shared reality. And right now, that foundation it's crumbling beneath our feet. It's not just crumbling, it's being replaced. We're stepping into an age where truth itself, the very fabric of it, is becoming nothing more than a statistical error, a beautiful but completely hollow mathematical illusion.
It's absolutely crucial to understand this. When you see a deepfake, you're not looking at a doctored photo. There are no seams to find, no pixels you can unblur. The whole thing is a mathematical hallucination, a coherent guess that an AI dreams up from nothing but random data. In other words, it has zero anchor to a real-world event. It's born from noise, not from light. It's a phantom. And we're all starting to believe in ghosts.
And this reality check places us in what we have to call a pre-Newtonian age of AI. We're operating without any fundamental laws, with no unified theory of what's true. Our most powerful tools are just brilliant guessers. They're pattern matchers adrift in a sea of data, and they have no compass. In this world, objective truth isn't just challenged, it's genuinely at risk of becoming statistically irrelevant.
So this crisis we're describing, it's a crisis of method. Our current paradigm, this pre-Newtonian AI, is amazing at matching patterns, but at its core, it's all just guesswork. VITA-VQ, though, it represents a total shift. It's a move to a Newtonian paradigm, one of lawful foresight and actual verification. We have to stop guessing what's real and start calculating it based on laws that can't be broken.
So how in the world do we pull that off? Well, the answer isn't to just build a better lie detector. That's a game we'll always lose. The real breakthrough comes from establishing the fundamental laws of reality for the AI itself, giving it a world model that it literally cannot violate. This is it. This is the dual manifold breakthrough. It's not about finding the flaws in the illusion. It's about making the illusion impossible from the get-go. The core idea behind VITA-VQ is that real images and AI-generated images exist on two completely separate mathematical manifolds. Think of them as two separate universes, each with its own laws of physics. One universe, we'll call it M-real, represents physical reality. The other, it's the internal probabilistic dream space of an AI. Yeah, think of it like this. You've got a map of the real world, and then you have a map from a fantasy novel. They might look kind of similar, but one is grounded in actual reality, while the other is just pure imagination. They are not the same thing.
And M-real isn't just a big folder of photos. It's a geometric representation of ground truth itself. It's encoded with the immutable laws of physics, things like gravity and how light behaves. It also includes biological constraints, skeletal structures, the way muscles have to move to form an expression. And, of course, it has semantic consistency, the historical and cultural context that makes a scene even plausible in the first place.
And this is the fundamental shift. We are finally moving beyond just staring at pixels, trying to find a mistake. This is about encoding the basic operating system of our universe into our most advanced machines. It's about forcing them to reason within the very same reality that we all inhabit.
So we have the laws. Great. But how do we enforce them? That's where the enforcement mechanism comes in. This is the Annihilation engine, and it's powered by a truly revolutionary architecture called the self-correcting delta transformer, or SCD for short. Okay, think about how a normal AI works. It's additive. As it's processing information, it just adds everything to the stream. Good data, bad data, errors, hallucinations. All these errors just pile up, creating this kind of informational sludge that pollutes the final result. The SCDT is fundamentally different. It's subtractive. It has this incredible thing, a differentiable eraser. It can mathematically trace a faulty line of reasoning all the way back to its origin and then just annihilate it. It doesn't ignore the error, it erases it from existence.
Let me walk you through it. So imagine the system is analyzing an image, and it spots a shadow that just breaks the laws of light. It falls completely off that M-real manifold we talked about. The SCDT doesn't just flag it, no, it activates. It re-evaluates the entire chain of logic that produced that physically impossible shadow, and then, using its eraser, it mathematically annihilates that invalid path from its memory, making sure that one error can't possibly pollute the final verdict.
So here's the bottom line. This system, this rubricator, it's not another lie detector. It's a structural enforcer of reality itself. It doesn't find the lie, it makes lying, in a physical and logical sense, structurally impossible for the image to sustain under its watch.
And all this brings us to the most urgent application of this technology. I mean, this isn't just about spotting today's deepfakes. It's about creating a protective shield for the artificial general intelligence of tomorrow.
VITA-VQ is really designed to be the truth layer for any AI ecosystem. The big danger here is that a future AGI, trained on the entire internet, is going to learn from this vast, polluted data set of synthetic AI-generated stuff. It could learn a completely broken model of reality. VITA-VQ acts as the filter. It makes sure that what the AGI consumes as ground truth is actually grounded in our reality.
And it does this by running a whole battery of forensic checks. This is just a sample of what it's looking at. It checks something called limbic geometry. That's the biological accuracy of hands and joints, something AI messes up all the time. It verifies reflection fidelity, making sure the reflections in someone's eyes actually match the surrounding scene. It cross-references the geospatial context, and of course, it rigorously audits the light and shadow physics and the image's metadata and origin. And the output, the way you see this, is in something called a Grok score dashboard. Now, for an authentic image that passes all those checks, you see this complete, symmetrical web of truth. But for a fake, where certain laws of reality are violated, the web just appears collapsed. It's jagged and broken. You're literally looking at a visual representation of a fractured reality.
So the final verdict is completely unambiguous. This system gives a clear, decisive stamp. It doesn't say likely real or probably fake. No, it gives a definitive statement based on its lawful analysis, authentic capture. What we're really looking at here is so much more than just a piece of tech. It represents this profound bridge, almost like a Rosetta Stone for our digital age. It's translating between two worlds that we've always seen as separate: human intuition and cold, hard machine logic. You know, for centuries, a master artist has had what we call the artist's eye, this incredible intuition for light, perspective, anatomy, a feeling that tells them when something just feels wrong. VITA-VQ is, in a very real sense, the digitization of that intuition. It's encoding thousands of years of human artistic and observational knowledge into a logical, verifiable framework. So this protocol, it's a translation layer. It makes sure that our accumulated legacy of understanding the world through art and science and photography isn't lost or corrupted. Instead, it gets passed on intact to the next generation of machine intelligence. It's the bridge that connects everything we know to everything they will learn. And that leaves us with one final and, I think, really provocative thought. For so long, we have been completely focused on the problem, on fighting this empire of lies. But a technology like this, it shifts the entire conversation. If we can create an ecosystem where truth is not just an option, but becomes structurally inevitable, what will we and what will our AI counterparts choose to build with it?